So I said today we'll be starting from joins. So let's call our data. Let's use, the first thing is to set your database. Since the database, we've created our database before now, so I just have to call it use tutorial. Now my database is intact. Now the first thing is the next one is to query. Let's see the data we are using. Select top 10. Top 10, the first 10 rows from Chicago census. No, we are not using census data. We are using crime data. Now this is a real data, so Chicago crime data. Let's see. Oh, select all. I didn't put all from Chicago crime data. Okay, now we have ID, case number, date. Okay, let me call the next one. Select top 10. Select all. The first 10 rows from Chicago public schools, Chicago public schools. Okay, so let me run the two together so we can look at the overview of our data. Now, as you can see, looking at it, the first data we have ID, school ID, we have case number. Now, the first data is the crime data, which consists of the ID, case number, date, the block, IUCR, primary type, which means the type of the crime, then the description, the local description, location description, arrest, domestic, beat, district, ward, and the likes, community area number, FBI code, coordinates. These are the locations, the latitude and longitude. Then we have the location, which is the combination of the latitude and longitude. Now let's look at the second data, which is our Chicago public schools. So we have school ID, which is unique. We have name of school. We have elementary, middle, high school, street number, city, state, zip code, phone number. Okay, let's see. Family involvement score, environment, teacher's icon, teacher score. Okay, average student attendance, okay, rate of misconduct, average teacher attendance. I'm looking for something. Okay, grade, ninth grade, 10th grade, and the likes. Okay, latitude, community area number. Good. Now, can you see that we have some community area number? We have community area number in our crime data. We also have community area number in our what? In our public school data. Since there are some schools that belongs to some communities where all these things happen, and the community area name as well. And the community area name as well. I think community area name is not here. It's not here. It's not here. So we just need to study our data very well before we do any analysis. So won't be having any problem. So as we can see, community area number and community area name, they are what? They are kind of this. Who did that thing? Community area number and community area name are kind of common. So area number, good. So let's continue.
Excuse me, come and get me.
Oh, please, sorry, mute your mic, please. Okay, good. Now, we'll be starting from implicit function. Now, what do we mean by implicit function? Implicit join, sorry, implicit join. What we mean by implicit join is we have join whereby you can call two different tables at the same time. Okay, now let's say, for example, I said let's say select all from Chicago crime data, Now, instead of me writing the two codes at the same time, the first one I wrote top 10 from the first one, top 10 from the second one. So I can just say from Chicago crime data and Chicago, Chicago public schools. So let's see, Chicago public schools. So let's see, good. Now, can you see, I said select all. Okay, let me print the top 10 so we won't be able to see the overview of our data well. The data is still running. It is still executing. We have lots of columns. Okay, let's see the overview of the data. Now, as you can see, this will join both Chicago crime data and Chicago public schools. The data will be what? The tables will be joined together. Now, I think the first one we're seeing now is our crime case. Can you see our crime case? Now, as we can see, we now have school certified, family involvement icon, family. Can you see? If you look at this data very well, this other data is coming from our what? It's coming from public schools. Can you see? Great, explore it, ISAT. This one is coming from public schools, 10th grade plan 2009. So our implicit join will give us data from to combine the table, the first table and the second table to what combine it together. Our code is still running. Wow. So to combine both the first table and the second table together, and then it will display the results. So let's count. I want to count this thing. I want to know how many rows because this one it is. Let me just try to stop. I've stopped the process. Select. Let me count all. Count all. I want to count all from these two data, Chicago crime data and Chicago public schools. So I'll be counting. I want to count how many rows do we have from this. Let's see. How many rows do we have? Okay, good. We have 301,678 rows. Good. So those are that we have 301,678 rows. So that is how implicit join. That is how it works. It works. Are you with me? That's how we use our implicit join. So sometimes you might just need just like few columns from the both data. So what you just need to do is to do what? Is to call your first is to call your first is to call the columns that you need. You understand? You just need to what? Call the columns that you need, and that's all. So let's continue. Okay, let's see. Let me select. Let's try to run a meaningful data from here so you can understand what we mean by the implicit. Let me copy this. So select, I think in our public school data, we have something like school name. Let's see, coming. I think we have something like, okay, we have name of school. We have school ID, name of school. Okay. We have name ID, school name of school. And our Chicago public data, we have what? ID, case number. Okay. Name of school and ID. School ID, community area number. Okay, let's see. Let's see. So we can say select name of school. Okay, we have school ID, right? Select school ID, school ID. Uh-huh. Select school ID. Then we have name of school. We have name. We have name of school. We have name of school. We have okay, we're selecting them from what? From Chicago public data and Chicago crime data. Chicago public data and Chicago crime data. So now, I think before now we did what we call by aliasing, how to alias. So let me call this Chicago crime data. Let me just name it something like CD. So the alias name is CD. So I'll name public school data as well, CP. You understand? CP. Now, since I named it as CD and I named it as CP, so I have select school ID, and school ID is coming from what? It's coming from public schools, right? So what you just need to do is to put CP dot public schools. Name of school also is coming from public school data, so that will be CP dot name of school. ID is coming from Chicago crime data, so you just have to use cd.id, and our primary type is also coming from Chicago crime data, so that will be cd dot this. Are you with me? So where where our Chicago crime data, between what's it called? Between our school ID, between our Chicago crime data and our Chicago public schools, we have a column that is kind of common, which is what? Which is which column? This what's it called? This our community area number. Okay. Now I said the CD. There's something we call alias. So which means you can just, for example, you are bearing a name. You can just give a short name for yourself. That okay, just call me SP. You understand? Just call me this, just call me that, just call me this, just call me that. So instead of us writing our full name, the full name of our table, which is Chicago crime data, in the front of all this school ID, this normally this is supposed to be Chicago Public Schools dot school ID, Chicago Public Schools dot name of school, Chicago crime data dot ID, Chicago crime data dot primary type. Now, instead of doing that, we will just alias this Chicago crime data with something that we know that we always remember. So here we are using CD. So if you want to alias after the name of the data, you understand? After the name of the table, just put the alias in front, CD, Chicago Public Data, CP. Are you with me? Chicago Public Data, CP. So do you get that now? Okay, now, where now you need to choose a column where our name of school, where our Chicago public schools and the Chicago crime data, where they are what, they're kind of related. And from this, we see that from the community area name. So we can just say where community area name, we have community area name, where community area name in in um in Chicago crime data, we know it as community area name. Is that also? And Chicago, in Chicago public schools, we also know it as community area name. Since if you should check our Chicago public school data, you'll see this column, area number. Sorry, I think area number is common. Community area number. If you should check the both table, you'll see that community area number is common in both. Now, in order for you to distinctly identify that you are calling from the both column, the first one will be CP dot community area number, which means the first one is coming from Chicago public schools dot community area number, while the second one is coming from what CD dot community area number. So which means that this means that we want to select what we actually want to query from this data is school ID, name of school, the CD, the ID, then the primary type from from this data, which is Chicago crime data and Chicago public schools, where our community area number and community area number from the both side are what, where they are what related. So anywhere we have community area number in the first data. Okay, let's run the code first and see the output Now, good. Now, can you see anywhere community area number CD? I am having CD and CP. Are you with me? So CD is community crime data, while CP is community public schools. Are you with me? There are two different data. We are dealing with two different tables now, not just one table. So we want to try to connect. It's just like saying, okay, from finance department. If you have a company and we have the finance department and we have the whole database of the whole company, it is very possible there are some info that will be present, like your employee ID, that will be present in the finance department and will also be present in in the general in the general database of the company worldwide. You understand? So if you want to query those data, you can just try to use. So since that one is common in both, so you are going to use your ID. Now from here, please just try to understand this thing. Now, what I'm trying to run here is that anywhere my community area number in my Chicago public school is equals to my community area number in my Chicago crime data. Anywhere they have the same, any column where they have the same area number, just print the school ID, the name of school, the ID, and the primary type. Alternatively, or if you want to write this code in full, without using anything relating to alias, what you just have to do is select this CP will now be community public schools dot school ID, because your school ID is coming from community public school. This other CP2 will be community public schools. So your CDs will be coming from what? Chicago crime data. And here where I have CP dot community area number, you'll be having community public schools dot community area number equals to community Chicago crime data, dot what? Community area number. So this kind of join, we are dealing with join. We call this kind of join, we call it our implicit join. We call it implicit join. Yes. We call it implicit join. Call it implicit join. So that is implicit join for you. So let's continue. So we have I don't know, we have inner join and outer join. And inner join What we mean by inner join is intersection. You understand? Inner join. It's the same as intersection. Now, let me use this as an illustration. Now, let's say, for example, you have coming, we have A. Look at this. We have A and we have B. Oh, sorry. We have A and we have B. I want to use Venn diagram to explain this now. We have A and we have B. You know, these are two different circles. Are you with me? And we are dealing with inner join. So for you to understand quickly what we mean by inner join. Now, our A is our first data set. Our B is our second data set. So this, if this place, this shaded part, this shaded part where our A and what B intersect, that is where, for example, you want to print data where A and B intersect. Such kind of, in such scenario, you use what? You use your inner join. So in brief, inner join return only rows from joined tables that have a what? That have a matching value in a common column. Are you with me? So rows from matching table, this is table A, and this is, we have table A and table B. So when you use inner join, which means you want to print out rows. Please understand this very well. You want to print out rows from joined tables that have matching value in the what? In the common column. Whenever you have the common column, the rows that have matching value in them, so that is what we want to print. So this kind of join, we call it what? We call it our what? Inner join. Call it our inner join. So how do we use inner join? How do we use inner join? So let's do that. Let's do that. So let's do that. We have, so for inner join also, I can use, let me copy this data. I'm sorry for that. So I have to copy it in order to save time. So select school ID. I want to select this three from Chicago, data. You know, when I was using implicit join, after writing my Chicago data, after writing my Chicago crime data CD, the next thing I did was to put comma and write the second table that I'm dealing with. But in this case, what you would do after the first table, select, these are the things we want to select from those tables, from table A and table B. Are you with me? So from Chicago crime data CD, so what we follow it is join. That is the statement. You use join. So join Chicago Public School. Join from Chicago crime data CD. Join Chicago Public School on let me, please, if you have question, just need to ask. Now this is our inner join. So these are the columns we want to print out, ID, and our ID is from community Chicago Public School. Our school ID is from Chicago Public School. Our name of school is from Chicago Public School. Our ID is from Chicago Crime Data. The primary type is from primary type. Is from Chicago Crime Data. So, you know, we are dealing with two tables now. Now you now say from Chicago Crime Data CD, which is my first table, join Chicago Public School CP, which is my second table, on CP, which means where they are equal. That is where we have to join them. Where my community area number in Chicago Public School is equal to the what? To the community area number in my what? Chicago area number. So in my Chicago crime data. So let's print this and see the output. Good. So this is it. ID, we have name of school, we have ID, and we have what primary tax. Now you should know that all these things that is being printed, all these things, all these result that we have, they are the what? They are the intersects. They are the intersects between community area number and the what? And community public schools. Those are the intersects. You understand? So that is about that. So that is our joint statement. So I think alternatively, if you want to write your joint statement, let me see. I'm coming. I think we have, I would love to, let me try this. I don't know if it will work here, but let me try it. Select this, okay. Join. Please, if you have question, don't hesitate to use the comment box and ask your question, because you need to understand fully what join is all about. So in case you have anything to do, you'll be able to you'll be able to know which kind of join that to use, if it is inner join or outer join. So we have, let's continue. Select from this, join Chicago Public School, Chicago Public School, using community area number. Let me see if this will run. Community area number, because when you meet some people, the way they write code might surprise you sometimes. So let's see. Okay, I think it didn't work. It didn't work. It's not working. So I think since we do not have ID in both of them, so let's leave that. Okay. So that is inner join for you. So we have outer join. In our outer join, we have three types of outer join. We have the left outer join, we have the right outer join, and we have the full outer join. Yes, we have left outer join, we have right outer join, and we have what? Full outer join. Now, what do we mean by left outer join, right outer join, and full outer join? So let me try to illustrate to give the differences between them. Now, assuming we're having our table A, we have our table B, you understand? So what we mean by left outer join is the data coming. What we mean by our left outer join simply means those data we can find in we can find in A but not present in B. Can you see? So this kind of, can you see when this is the shaded part? This is the, sorry, doesn't extend to the middle. Sorry for that mistake. So this is the shaded part, only this side, this left hand side of the circle. So can you see? So this is our left outer join. Only this place, the data that is present here and it is not what present here. Mathematicians, you know what you call it. Then we have when you're dealing with sets. I don't know, and I won't say it. So let's just leave that. So this is our left outer join. So when we are dealing with right outer join, this is right outer join. This is, sorry. This is our right outer join. This is our right outer join. It's just like the other way around of the left outer join. So this side, this side, this side, this side here. Can you see? So this is our right outer join. So we also have full outer join. Now, what we mean by full outer join is like saying you want to print the whole of your data set. The whole, everything like this. Can you see? This is our full outer join. This is our full outer join. Can you see? This is our full outer join. This is our full outer join. So completely. So the first one is our left outer join. Second is what? Right outer join. So the third is what? Is our what? Our full outer join. Now the question is, how do we use them? So let's begin. So I'll still be using the same data, but I'll just I'll have to come in. Now assuming I'm having this. So if you are using our left outer join, you will just say left. You don't need to write outer. I think, okay, you can put in outer. So left outer join, are you with me? Left outer join, Chicago CP on this. So you should query your data. So this is the left outer join. So data that is only present in community area number in Chicago public schools, but not in the other way around. So these are left outer join. So we can now say, let's say where we can use some other features, you understand? Where primary type, let's see, let primary type, like we've done our what's it called, white card, like P, let's say police, or do we have something like that? Okay, let's say thefts. So let's see if this will print. Incorrect syntax. Oh, sorry, I did not close the bracket. I did not, good. So theft. So can you see? So what it will bring is where our primary type is theft. So it has not only theft. If you look at this full data, let's see. This is motor vehicle what? motor vehicle, motor vehicle coming. I'm trying to see the distance. Yes, it is motor vehicle theft. Good. That data is if you look at that motor, it is motor vehicle theft. Why is it printing that one? It won't print only theft. It will print anything in the primary type that is relating to theft. Why? Because of the white card that I used. The white card that I used is when you have something like, so this percentage, if you look at our previous videos, I think we discussed about this percentage, this white card here is trying to tell us that anything irrespective of if there is theft in the primary type, so just print it out. But if I wanted to print out only theft, I wanted to see where the primary type is theft, ordinary theft, and not anything relating to theft. So what you just do is just remove take away your percentage sign, the white card. Now, can you see everything we have here is what theft, theft, theft. Can you see? Theft, theft, theft. So these are the schools. So what do we mean here? These are the schools that have crimes relating to theft. These are the names: Abraham Lincoln Elementary School, Adam Clayton. Can you see? Augustine. Can you see? So which means that this school with this ID, with this community ID, this ID is the community, which means the school where the school is located at this community ID. We don't want to print the community area name, so we just print the community ID. And these are the thefts that are being located in the school according to the crime data. Now we are using our crime data and the school data. We are trying to relate both of them together and know. So as someone who is being employed at, okay, these are data, we want to know the names of schools that are related, that commit crimes relating to theft, or that commit crimes that is only theft. What you just have to do, collect the school data. Now, since the school data will consist of the area name where the school is located, and go to what's it called? Go to what's it called? Go to the crime office, the crime department. I don't know anyhow. Collect their data also. So from there you'll be able to identify the school ID, the name of school, where theft is being committed. So that is our left outer join for you. So